Mic check, mic check. What's going on, world? You already know it's your boy SB, and I'd like to welcome y'all back to episode 18 of season 5 of the Roll Up Podcast. As always, before we get started, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all. Y'all continue to support. It really means a lot to me that y'all really showing the love that y'all showing for the movement. It's always been a dream of mine to have my own platform, and for y'all to continuously reach out to me and let me know that the podcast is really helping you push through some tough times. It really lets me know that I'm doing the best I can to help y'all get to where y'all gotta be. So again, thank you for streaming the Roll Up Podcast. If you're new to the movement, be sure to follow the movement via social media at the Roll Up Podcast. Make sure you check out the saucebradyexperience.com. That's the official hub of the Roll Up Podcast. I got a lot of great content lined up for this year, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. And the one sure way to stay up to date with what's going on is to stay locked into the movement. Also, be sure to check out the Sauce Factory, where you can grab some of the Season 5 merch collection that's available right now. You can use code TRUPOD at checkout, that's TRUPOD, to get 30% off your order. I got one of the hardest podcast merch lines out right now, and once you get on there, you're going to see it for yourself. So remember, use code TRUPOD, that's TRUPOD, to get 30% off your merch. I also have 2 books for sale right now via Amazon and Barnes & Noble. One is titled Here's the Truth. The other is titled You Deserve Better. Really great reads. I promote them all the time because 1, I wrote them, but 2, there's some real great content that you need to help you see the vision in 2024. So make sure you hit the saucebradyexperience.com and grab you a copy of a book. I'll also be starting a new campaign titled Gaming with Sauce, where I live stream some of my favorite video games and we can do a Q&A so y'all can get to know me a little bit better. This campaign is actually getting ready to start sooner than later, so make sure y'all stay locked in to the saucebradyexperience.com to stay up to date with what's going on. But now that we got the logistics out of the way, it's time that we dive into today's episode. To piggyback from where we left off, moving with intention is a major key. As we're going to touch on in the next couple episodes, direction is more important than speed. You can be moving at God's speed, but if you have no idea where you're going, you're going to burn yourself out. And by the time you get to where you're supposed to be, because you're so burned out and mentally exhausted, you're going to end up fumbling the bag. And in 2024, we're retiring the idea of fumbling the bag. We're going to move strategically and efficiently to set ourselves up for generations to come. That's why this episode is titled On Purpose, because every move we make this year, it has to be on purpose. We can't drag our feet anymore. We can't procrastinate anymore. It's either we are throwing ourselves in a game or we're going to watch the game for the bleachers. And I know you've been on the bleachers for a long time. You ready to get in the game. I know you want to win. I know you want some PT, but you only get PT when all your moves have meaning. As always, I got to start the episode off with a quote, and today's quote is by Stephen Furtick, and it reads, "Set your intentions in the direction of your destiny and not the distraction of this moment." So right off the bat, I want to clarify what Mr. Furtick meant when he said not setting your intention by the distraction of this moment. That distraction could be anything. It could be life. It could be bills. It could be self-sabotage. It could be being scared of taking the first step of chasing your dream, and etc. You can't move in the direction of your destiny when you're too focused on the things that's going wrong in your life. You can't manifest high frequency when everything that has your attention is low frequency. Like I said a while back, if you see with your eyes, you'll be deceived by thinking that your goals are farther than they really are. But when we learn to see with our minds, we will see that our mind's vision is infinite, meaning it sees no end. The true power is to make every move on purpose, to visualize your dream life on purpose, and move according to the plan. As we carry on through the year, it is important that we keep in mind of the direction we are going. When we keep our end goal in front of us, 3 things happen. We gain clarity over our vision, we're able to focus on these tasks, and most importantly, it gives us a sense of purpose. It's vitally important to know where you're going. Without it, you'll be running around like a chicken with your head cut off. But if you're locked in on the mission, every step of the plan will be executed meticulously and flawlessly to ensure that you get to your intended destination. Again, life is going to test you. Life is going to see if you truly stand on business. But as long as you keep your eyes on the prize and keep your feet moving, in that direction, you're going to get there. When it comes to moving on purpose, the first thing we need to make sure we have is the clarity over our vision. Basically, meaning that we have a clear line of sight towards where we're going. A lot of times we get distracted by what everybody else has going on, that we end up feeling guilty or inferior because we aren't making the same moves. Then we begin to get impatient and start going against the plan. And while we may want to hurry up and get a taste of the success that we've been working towards, it's best that we just run the course, be patient, and just trust that everything is planned out and just keep going to see the mission through. Yeah, you may jump the gun and get a better opportunity, but who's to say that that specific opportunity was for you? That's what's funny about life. You think you know what's best for you. You think you know what you need. But how many times have you rushed into a situation that ended in you crashing and burning? How many times have you did what you wanted to do and wonder why nobody warned you of the impending dangers? Sometimes we have to learn by trial and error. And that's okay, because when examined from a higher perspective, those losses were actually lessons learned. And all that to say is clarity is extremely important. The second thing that happens naturally after you have clarity in your vision, you'll be laser focused on the mission at hand. Along with focus comes awareness. And when you're aware of what's happening around you and taking note of how you feel internally, it will be easier to activate your spidey senses. Like the opening quote suggests, we have to not be distracted by this moment. We should instead be in the moment. We should be the moment. Because what happens is when we get distracted in the moment, as I mentioned earlier, you start to remind yourself of all the bills that you have to pay. You start to remember all the situations that you thought would work out and didn't. You start to procrastinate on completing your task because you don't feel like it. But why poke holes in your boat when your mind sight is infinite? You've seen what happens when you see the glass is half empty. Imagine what will happen when you can see the glass is half full. It's literally a game of perception. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Like I've said a million times before, learning to change the meaning your adversities give you can and will bring you so much peace. And lastly, when we follow the 2 previous steps, it leads us to the window of gratitude. When we are grateful for the journey it took to get here, we will begin to uncover our purpose in life. Once you have found your purpose in life, you will move according to the plan. Vision plus focus plus purpose. That's the secret ingredient they've been hiding from us for years. Because when John D. Rockefeller created the Board of Education, he said, and I quote, "I want to raise a nation of workers, not thinkers." That's a conversation for another day, but you get where I'm going with this. If we were encouraged to chase our dreams instead of being chastised for them, majority of us will probably have more confidence in ourselves. That is why you have to take responsibility and have accountability over your life, because it is your job to see and believe the vision. It is your job to have faith in the process, and nobody can validate you like you can. Basically, what I'm getting at today is that it's time that we step into our purpose. Every move that we make, we need to make it on purpose. It's time that we truly trust in the powers within us and move accordingly. The days of making mistakes, then repeating the same mistake 5-6 times are over. It's time that we nip it all in the bud and simply just elevate. And as always, man, a daily friendly reminder is that I believe in you. I believe that you're more than capable of achieving your desired level of success. I believe that this year you will buckle down on your goals and will be relentless in the pursuit of racking up the coins. Every day our feet hit the floor, we have to move with intention. We have to make every move on purpose. And we have to remember that the steps that we talked about today, whenever we feel lost and need distraction, and need direction on where we're going. In closing, again, thank you for streaming today's episode of the Roll Up Podcast. I hope I said something meaningful today that will leave an imprint on you as you continue to crush your goals. Be sure to subscribe to the campaign via social media. Make sure you lock in to the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you grab you some merch at the Sauce Factory. Make sure you grab a book. Make sure you check out the SauceBradyExperience.com. Because, boy, I got some gas now. It's coming. Give me some time. I'm finna blow your mind with the shit I got on my sleeve. So y'all stay tapped into the movement. You already know it's your boy. Make sure you roll a fatty because you deserve it. Peace.